Well, hey there. This is Podcast the Musical. Hi. We're doing episode 7 now of Podcast the Musical. This episode, we are reviewing Father Ted, which is a nice Irish show from the 90s. The episode is called A Song for Europe. It's season 2, episode 5. I'm Kayla. Guess who else is here?
And I'm Josh, me.
And we have a special guest.
Who else would you expect?
Hello, I'm Amy.
This is our friend, Amy Buller. You may remember a certain Brian Buller. No relation.
Yes, relation.
Lots of relations.
Of Amy.
Yes. So, Amy, what do you do in Wichita here? We are both in Wichita, by the way.
Yay. I work part-time at the public library, and it is crazy because it is summertime, and there are a million children every day. And so, yes, I decided a little cocktail was in order.
Yeah, we're having cocktails here at 5 p.m.
It's fine. It is. It's 5 o'clock.
Happy hour.
And it's the only one I'll have today.
We should be having some sort of, I don't know, Irish ale or something.
Yes. We should have busted out the Guinness.
One of the reasons we wanted to bring Amy in on this episode for Father Ted is because Amy is quite the Anglophile. And I know that's not the same thing as being obsessed with Irish culture.
Well,
but
yeah.
You're like a Britophile.
Yeah. The Isles.
Yeah. You're an Isleophile. She's an Isleophile.
The British Isles. Although I suppose visiting some other islands might be nice.
Yeah. Well, this is set on a fictional isle, actually.
I was wondering about that.
Mm-hmm.
They mentioned it briefly, and I thought I should look that up, and never did.
That's okay. I can tell you. I don't remember the name of it. It starts with like a...
It's Craggy Isle.
What?
Okay.
Craggy. Craggy. Craggy Isle.
Yeah.
It's off the coast of County Clare.
Okay.
Which, is that real?
Yes.
Yeah,
you
County
can throw
Clare's
any
real.
name at me and be like, this is a place in Ireland.
It is real. I don't know where it is. I haven't been there.
County Clare is on the southeast coast of Ireland. It's fairly small-ish. I looked it up. It has like about 100,000 people in the county.
Josh, have you been to Ireland of any kind? Amy and I both have.
I have not. Ireland was not one of the places that we went on our Europe trip, and I never went out there when my family lived in France either. The closest we got was London, I think.
Yeah, you guys went to London. Yeah.
And then we
Where'd
went
you go
south.
when you were in Ireland, Amy?
We went to in college. Actually, it was the same when Brian and I went, and in college we went to Dublin and then Glendalough. So that's in the County Wicklow. Brian and I stayed at a little farmhouse outside of a little village that I cannot pronounce. Kilmacanaga or something like that. And they all looked at us when we tried to say that, and they're like, I don't know what that is. And so we're like, okay, I guess that's not just what it's called. But it was very close to, yeah. So that's where we went. Did you go the same places, or were you?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah.
I really, really liked, we pronounced it Glendalough?
Yes. There's two ways.
Okay.
There's probably the exact transliteration and the other, more British or whatever.
Yeah. But I liked it. January was not the greatest time to go.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That was the only place when I went in college in January. It was the only place that it actually rained on us. We got lucky our whole rest of our trip, which other groups don't always. Mm-hmm. But it was very nice everywhere else, and then it was a little bit rainy in Glendalough. Mm-hmm. Glendalough. And then our nicest day in Ireland, I think, was when Brian and I went up to Glendalough and wandered around the ruins. It's a monastic city, ruins of a monastic city.
What is a monastic city?
A bunch of monks live there.
I guess
Like
that
a-
makes
a long
like
time
a-
ago in like 1200
like a commune
AD?
of monasteries.
Yeah. People ended up taking their pilgrimages there after I don't know, I'll get it wrong. Some like St. Stephen, St. Kevin, somebody who who went and on a big long pilgrimage. There is a Saint Kevin.
This is another.
I'm sure.
See, just you could just say words.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy.
Saint
Oscar, Saint
Yeah.
Elmo.
This
Those
guy.
are both. That's a saint. I was just naming Sesame Street characters, but I actually hit a right one.
Saint.
Saint. Yeah, I was about. Saint. I'll move to McDonald's characters. Saint
Swedish Chef.
Grimace. Saint Hamburglar.
Yeah, it is Saint Kevin, actually.
Weird.
He went on a pilgrimage around Ireland, decided to be a hermit on the side of this mountain near this lake, and then years later people would follow his pilgrimage, and then they settled here and made a city. And like, I don't remember, like that
Is
was
it really a city? It's
it
tiny.
was a city at the time. And it's really just ruins now that was the city, and it's still like it's mostly gravestones, and they're really old, and like there's
They're all, like,
this
leaning
church,
over
but it
and
has
stuff.
no roof anymore,
Yeah.
and there's a big tall tower that they don't know what they were exactly how they used them. So
But that's fun. Ruins are fun.
yes,
Yeah. Especially coming from living in America where our oldest ruins are like, a couple 100 years old.
yes,
If
exactly.
that. Funny you should mention you were talking about the pilgrimage to the city. That's one of the major plot points of Father Ted is that one of their relic gets upgraded to a class 2 relic. And it's just this rock. Hold on. I'll
I was going
find
to say,
it.
I
It's
know
really
nothing about the show. This is the first episode I've ever seen of the show.
Yeah. Apparently it was really popular.
It's one of the most popular, it gets mentioned in the same breath as like Fawlty Towers and stuff.
Oh, wow.
Like it's very popular. It's probably the most popular Irish television show ever created. And I mean, it was created.
Writers were British, though.
Right. Written and created by Graham Linehan, who did IT Crowd and lots of other stuff. But the relic is the Holy Stone of Clonrichert, formerly at Fermanagh, but moved to Craggy Island as it was not doing very good business. The Holy Stone is the main attraction of the island following its upgrade to a Class 2 relic after someone was lured there, which Dougal and possibly the church mistook for cured. Someone was lured, not cured.
Okay.
And then coupled with a case of an Englishman growing a beard when he touched it.
Miracle.
So anyway,
Miracle Stone. I love it. That's great.
Need to grow a beard.
why
Okay.
people come to see it.
So, maybe we should sort of describe what the premise of the show is for people who aren't really aware. It's these priests, and they've kind of been exiled.
Yeah.
For various things. Father Ted raised some money for a sick kid and then went to Las Vegas with it.
See, these are things that probably would have been good to know before watching this one episode.
And is it Father Dougal? He's so young.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
He is. It's Father Dougal.
What happened to him? Do you remember, Josh?
I don't know. I think he's just really dumb.
Yeah.
I think, I think they don't really describe it's like a running joke that it's like the
they
whatever
don't talk about
incident.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dougal, for something only referred to as the Black Rock incident,
Yes.
resulting in many lives irreparably damaged.
He's
And Jack
a great
for his
character.
alcoholism and womanizing.
Yeah. So it's bad priests. I mean, not really that dedicated to the faith, which is funny.
Some random housekeeper, Mrs. Doyle,
Yeah.
is popping in and
Yeah.
out, and really
She's
an exaggerated
so funny.
character as well.
Yeah. But she's got to be there. Otherwise, it's a sausage fest.
Yeah, pretty much.
So that's the premise of this show. And I mean, I was a little surprised at first because I didn't know that background stuff. And I was a little surprised at first that they were going to try and enter the Eurosong competition. And I'm like, is this really becoming of Catholic priests to do? Is this something that, now it makes sense. because they have other worldly aspirations.
Mm-hmm.
So should we get into it?
Sure.
All right. At the beginning, we get our first little musical taste. The father is humming/singing some tune. I don't know. Did anyone recognize it?
No. It sounded nice.
Yeah.
Until he actually sang.
Yeah. So then Mrs. Doyle says, "Oh, that's lovely. Get up and sing a song." And he sings Paris in the Springtime, and she hates it.
She's so funny.
Yeah.
She was like, I liked it before, and then you started singing, and I didn't like it.
And I liked that song, but then you sang it. Now I don't like it anymore.
Right. She's so funny. She's one of my favorite characters. There's a clip, one of my favorite clips of the show, and I've never really seen much of the show. I just see lots of little clips around on the internet. But one of my favorite ones is she's trying to give everyone a cup of tea, and nobody wants a cup of tea. And it's so funny, because she's like, all right, Father Ted, would you like a cup? And he's like, no, thank you, Mrs. Doyle. I won't have a cup just now. It's like, while it's hot. Well, just have a drop. While it's hot. And then he's like, no, and he puts his hand over the cup, and she just pours the tea over his hot hand, like hot tea over his hand, and he screams. And then, she goes over to Father Jack and says, Father Jack, what would you say to a cup? And he's like, feck off, cup.
Yes.
He's so
quite
funny.
I think he's just like the hillbilly character, because he just he doesn't like their song so much that he just shoots the guitar in this episode.
Yes. Crazy
hair.
Out the sides. Yeah.
Bernie Sanders hair. Yes. Oh, I think that's her thing, is that she's trying to always get people to drink tea. I think that's a running joke theme of hers. That's why she's there.
She needs something to do to be there.
Right.
So, drink tea.
So then Dougal starts talking about Eurosong 96, and they want to enter. So they just decide that's what they're going to do.
Oh, well, there was that phone call with the other father that they apparently have a little competition, so there was this whole, no, you wouldn't.
Yeah.
Yes, we would win, or wouldn't win, which felt very, Annie, get your gun, that, yes, I can, no, I can't, yes I can argument that just devolved.
Yeah. And it kind of took to absurd lengths, kind of like it was like
Monty Python,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But it was funny, still fresh. So they decide to go ahead and enter, but they've got to write a song first. So they sit down. They sit down, and one of them's got a guitar, and one of them's got a little keyboard, and Dougal suggests that they call the song "My Lovely Horse," and they just run with it. Like there's no consideration.
It's like we go with the first draft. What?
Yeah.
Like shop it a little.
And they have a hilarious session of songwriting that then devolves into Father Ted filling a room with smoke and just cussing out Dougal, and it's pretty funny. And the lyrics are absolutely hilarious. The first lyrics that he suggests when he's trying,
oh my goodness,
take this lump of sugar, baby.
I can see his womanizing ways there.
Yeah, but I thought it was Jack that had the womanizing ways.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah,
it is. But who knows? Maybe the Black Rock incident,
or it's just what popular music is.
Yeah, because they talk about rappers and they mispronounce. What do they say?
ICT and Scoopy Dog Dog.
Hey, ICT. That's where we're.
Wichita.
Oh man.
If anyone wants to know, that's the airport code for the Wichita Airport. Which is new and fancy now. Josh, you're going to be so surprised. It's a new airport, and it's, got 2 floors.
Well, it's about time.
Yeah, I have
being the air capital of the world, apparently, we should probably have a fairly good airport. It doesn't matter. I'm never going to be. When you get to Seoul, when you land in Incheon, you'll understand what a good airport is. Like
I've been in good airports. Don't worry, I've been to plenty places.
Oh no, I know, but I mean. It's awesome. It's my favorite airport in the world. Anyway,
I like
enough about
the Wichita
airports.
Airport because the Wi-Fi is free.
It's fine.
That's nice.
It's very important.
Yeah.
Security
Which is dumb.
like easy because it's short and they're all like
that's true.
nice Midwestern people. They're like, "Oh, you've got a full bottle of shampoo? You'll be fine."
That's awesome. Yes, that is rare.
I think one of the reasons, getting back to the show, I think one of the reasons that Dougal is talking about, like when he brings up those lyrics, is because they kind of talked about him at the first part of the episode as having Eurosong fever, right? And so he's probably been binging on a lot of these popular songs.
Okay, good point.
With his one record in his record collection is one record, but yes.
I think at least Eurovision tends to be like really cheesy songs. Like it doesn't tend to be like popular music in any of the cultural sense.
They have to write their own songs.
Yeah, I was about to say, don't they have to be original songs?
They have to be original songs, but it's like it tends to be more wholesome and more like really inspirational songs will win most often, I think.
Unless you're Poland, apparently.
Oh, really? Uh-oh.
I think it's Poland.
What?
Oh, it's just the song that they had was not super wholesome.
Oh. Yeah, no, I mean, that's not a rule or anything, but I think...
Okay, all right.
I think probably the ones that actually win are the family people watching the show and vote, so they they pick the wholesome ones.
Right.
So there's frustration and cussing and smoking, and it's funny. And then
that's a reference.
Oh,
but we don't have to talk about that now. In case you want to put that in the quiz.
Oh, I don't know what it's. Did you recognize it as a reference, or did you read it somewhere?
No, I read it as a reference.
What? Did you recognize it, or did you read it?
No, I read it. I read it as a reference. It's a... Yeah.
Okay.
Am I hard to understand?
No. I said, did you recognize it as a reference, or did you read it? And you said, I read it as a reference. So I didn't know if you were reading it from the show, or if you went and found somewhere and read it about it. Gotcha. Well, okay. Basically, the scene where he loses his temper at Dougal's failure to play the correct note is a reference to the Trogs tapes, a notorious outtake from a recording session by the Trogs. Oh.
Okay.
Who, I don't know who they are. The Trogs.
I'm sure that they mean someone.
An English rock band formed in 1964. Oh, Wild Thing.
Oh.
Hey, have you guys seen the Game of Thrones parody with Coldplay, where Jon Snow sings "Wildling" to the girl who plays Ygritte? It's funny.
I'm sure that it is.
I don't know. You know, you would like it if you saw it.
I'm sure that I would. I don't know.
You're just so resistant. Nope. Haven't seen it. Don't care.
I think at this point, I've seen the first episode of Game of Thrones, and at this point, it's kind of considered a point of pride that I haven't watched any more of them.
Why?
Not saying that the show is bad. It's just that apparently it's so good that why haven't I seen it? And I'm like, you know what? No, I don't think I need to see it.
This is another case of you rejecting something because it's popular.
Gotta be the hipster.
But I'm trying
I read
to be
all the books
about it.
I read all the books. They're popular.
No, but you are prideful that you have read the books and you haven't sold out and watched the show like all those people that haven't read the books and they get their story from the show. This is the underlying motivation for your hipsterness.
Maybe. I also didn't really like the books. So I don't know if that contributes. I mean, they were fine. I just didn't really think they were anything special. Like, there's no redeeming qualities to them at all. Like, there's enough tragedy and terribleness in the world. I don't need to read about it in a fictional world as well.
Do you want everything to be La La Sunshine?
No, of course not. You know how much I love.
Dark.
I know, but I still want there to be some redeeming quality. Like the
I think you actually like it. You just aren't letting yourself like it because it's popular. That's what I think.
I know you are entitled to your opinion. And I will agree with you that you have that opinion and that you are allowed to have it. There are lots of books that I find that I love that are super, super dark. Like,
see?
But they have redeeming qualities to them. Like the Night Angel trilogy by Brent Weeks is really rough. Like, it's really rough. But it's such a beautiful story of redemption and forgiveness by the end of the series that
well, Game of Thrones isn't over yet, so you don't know it doesn't turn redeeming.
That's true. I don't. And when the next book comes out in 10 years, I'll read it and find out.
Okay. So where were we? Oh, I just wanted to talk about the Pope clock, which I thought was the funniest thing.
That was my favorite.
That was so good.
I wondered if they change it with the Pope, like if it would be different now.
Yeah. Yeah, so the arms of the clock are the arms of the Pope, and it tells time. And that's also how they show that time is passing, so they're spinning around very rapidly. It's a good little...
I wonder if papal infallibility extends to clocks. So, like, if the clock is wrong, like, if they move the arms of the clock, like, well, it's 3 o'clock now, the Pope says.
Oh.
So they don't follow daylight saving time.
Maybe, I don't know.
Because it would force them to change the Pope's stance on time at that time. So then they sing their song for the maid and Father Jack, for Mrs. Doyle and Father Jack. And it's hilariously bad.
It's so bad. Do you want me to read the lyrics?
So
I'll read the lyrics real quick.
Oh, yeah.
Here are the lyrics to My Lovely Horse. My lovely, lovely, lovely horse. My lovely horse. My lovely horse. Running through the field. Through the field. Where are you going with your fetlocks blowing in the wind? I want to shower you with sugar lumps and ride you over fences, polish your hooves every single day, and bring you to the horse dentist. My lovely, lovely, lovely horse, my lovely horse, my lovely horse, you're a pony no more, you're a pony no more. Running around with a man on your back like a train in the night, like a train in the night.
Oh, so good!
And then there's a saxophone solo.
Right.
Yes. Well, not at the stage where they play it first for...
Yeah,
right, that's true. Later. That's true. That comes later.
Mrs. Doyle and the other guy.
What can only be assumed as a, I don't know, a booze-addled stupor.
Okay. They hate it. They hate the song, and rightly so, but it's hilarious. They don't see the hilarity, which is why the fourth wall is there and we're here. So Father Jack shoots the guitar and
with a shotgun.
Yeah.
It came out of nowhere.
Like it's a sawed-off shotgun. Like
Wild West. I don't get it. I don't get it.
Really easy to kill someone with that.
Yeah, I don't think he really cares.
Apparently not.
But then, they kind of discuss that they can't enter this song. It's not gonna work. But they can't back down because they've trash talked their rival priest dudes. So
right, Father Dick Byrne,
which I didn't know if that was a euphemism.
Oh.
I don't know either. I mean, Byrne is such a common Irish name.
But I feel like this is for a
Byrne.
British audience. Does anyone else get that vibe? And it kind of is poking fun at Irish culture for British people to laugh at, or for English people to laugh at. I should say English.
Maybe, but like all of the friends that I've ever had, all of the Irish friends that I've ever had have loved this show.
Referenced it.
All the time referenced.
Okay.
Yeah. Like, that's the whole reason I started watching clips of it, was a couple of my friends were like, oh, you've never seen Father Ted? Oh, you... And I'm like, what? What are you talking about? I'm like, I've never heard of it.
I like your Irish voice.
Well, thank you. I was doing, it's a bad imitation of my friend Eve, who is a tall Irish woman and is hilarious. And she's from Cork. But
can she hold her liquor better than you?
Probably. We've never actually tried it. I think she's actually back in Cork now. This was 5 years. She was here in Korea 5 years ago. So
too bad.
She's probably back in the old Green Isle.
Yeah, probably there. So Dougal plays his Norwegian band.
Yeah, that
song.
one record he has.
He plays the B-side.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's a song by Nin Hugen and the Huguenots.
Like the Huguenots.
Yeah, it's a play. It's like a play on the word Huguenots.
Oh.
I like that.
Yep.
And I love the convenience of the plot so that they can steal the song.
Right.
So
He's like,
what is this band doing now?
Oh, it was so tragic. The entire band died in a plane crash, including all the record company staff and everyone involved with the copyright.
Yeah. Ooh.
So funny.
Okay.
Well then.
So then they decide to steal the song, but not...
Well, no, they decide to commemorate it in memory.
Right.
And not tell anyone.
Right.
In secret. But then they go and they have this wonderful dream.
Oh my goodness. A mutual
Music
dream,
video.
apparently.
Yeah. At first I thought it was just Doogly having the dream, and then they wake up and Father Ted's like, we need more saxophone.
No. Skip the saxophone solo. Yes. Because that's when it gets truly psychedelic.
Yeah, I loved
Right, just that
this dream, though.
horse head. Oh, so funny.
I loved very much this dream. I have some quiz questions about this dream.
Awesome.
Okay.
But the song was good, and there was more than one note.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know why they didn't just play that song.
Well. I mean, that was part of the plot, too.
Wait. But they didn't play that song. They played
At
their
the end?
regular old song.
Uh-huh.
Right,
Which was
and there's
part
a
of
reason
the
because of
plot.
that.
Because
But the song was different in the dream. Like it
the
had-
words, you mean?
The words were the same, but the notes were like...
They were the
moving.
Norwegian one. Yeah. They were based on the Norwegian one. That's the one time we hear the Norwegian version.
Oh, I didn't put that together. That they were putting their lyrics with the Norwegian song.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
I
they
thought
said,
the
we
plan-
love the lyrics. We can't change the lyrics. We love our lyrics.
I
We
thought
just
they were
need
just
more
gonna-
than one note.
Okay.
Right?
Well, that makes
Is that
a little
right,
more
Josh?
sense as to why
No,
they
you're
dreamed
right. Yeah, that's
Okay.
right. Mhm,
and
that's
then
right.
didn't do anything about it.
Yeah, no.
Okay. Oh. Okay. Good. Okay. Well,
And so they go to Dublin, and where the song for Ireland, which is the Eurovision,
Or the Eurosong.
Eurosong contest prelims are being held. And they meet the producer
judge
who
guy. Yeah, he's also a
right
judge.
to the judge, right, and they find out he's gay and is the
There's some very...
partner of the MC there.
I did not
What's
know
up?
what to think of this
It
exchange.
was so awkward.
It was
It was so weird.
weirdly homophobic and...
Yeah. Well, I mean,
like
he's a
so
Catholic priest.
forced. Yeah,
it
but
did
still,
feel
it's like,
forced.
why even bring it up and make an issue and all of that, I guess, to make fun of the homophobicness of priests?
I would assume so.
I thought Father Ted was gay in a past life when I read this because he was so, he was like, homophobia or being gay. That's bad.
That must be fun.
Yeah, and then just like describes, oh, it must be fun to
go to the clubs and,
yeah.
you know, yeah, okay.
I didn't like it. It was very like early 90s.
Right, 1996.
And just say a reference of any kind to being gay in a TV show and it'll get laughs type of thing.
Right, yeah, exactly.
Not into it.
Yeah.
Nope,
it was
I wasn't a fan either.
Really?
It was weird.
Horrible.
Really weird.
Yeah. So now that we've hashed that out,
we meet the rivals.
Before we get the rival people singing their song, the host comes on the stage and he's like a completely different person.
Yeah, you can understand him.
Yeah.
His Irish accent isn't so thick.
It was a cute little joke.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is like his face is different and his hair is made up correctly. And
right? Do you think do we think it was a different actor?
I don't know about that. I'll look on. I'll look on IMDb.
Paying enough attention.
Okay, you look it up. I wouldn't be surprised if it was just a completely different actor.
Yeah.
The funny thing was that he was like the scruff guy directly before he walked on stage. And then he was.
Right.
So then we get to see Father Dick Burns' song, and it's very Eurovision-y. I mean, full orchestra, full choir. I don't know what his little sidekick guy was doing there.
Yeah, he was playing a keyboard and trying.
I couldn't really hear a keyboard.
No. Just to be there.
Okay, yeah.
Because Father Ted has his sidekick of Dougal, so he's got to have a sidekick.
They both have dumb sidekicks.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's true. He was pretty dumb too.
Yeah, he was. And he sings well, I thought, and he was all into it.
It was fine. But like you said, it was very Eurovision-y, very
melodramatic.
Yeah, very melodramatic. And then there's a full choir in the background, and
But definitely, I thought this was good because it was like believable that this would be the song that would win, right? That this would be the song that would be most appropriate for
Ireland, to represent Ireland in Eurosong.
In Eurosong. So I liked that part. And then Ted hears the Norwegian song in the elevator.
But he hears the porter whistling it first.
Yes.
Like this guy walks by and he's whistling the song and he's kind of like, what? And then that's weird. And then he's like, he gets in the elevator and then he hears it in the speaker and then he hits the elevator speaker and runs back up and he's like, we can't do it. It's apparently pretty popular.
There's only one thing we can do. Play the original one note.
It's so good. It's so cute. And the judge
it's very cute.
It.
And at the end, he's like, I love it when he's at the end when he tries to switch to a different chord and he's just like, hang on, I can do it. I can do this bit. And he hits it. That's so good.
But then they won and they find out later that so okay, this is actually a thing with Eurovision. Mm-hmm. When you win, you have to host the next year. And this is actually real, that no one wants to host.
Because it's so expensive.
Yeah.
It's so expensive.
And it's a pain. It's just a pain. Mm-hmm. And so you don't really want to win, especially if you're like a well-established country. So this past one, I was aware of France's entry, and we should listen to it. It is so bad. And it was kind of deliberately bad so that they would lose. And it was funny because they got like last place or something. Like they did so poorly, like almost as poorly as these guys did when they went on to Eurosong. And so all the French people, they were kind of like glad that it was a bad song so they wouldn't have to host or whatever. But then they were like, after the results came through, they were like, okay, let's not try so hard to be bad next time. But I'm going to find it. We should listen to it.
Okay. And while you're doing that, in real life, this is a joke. Like the air date of this is 1996. And so at this point, Ireland had won the Eurovision Song Contest, 1992, 1993, and 1994. So they had to host it in 93, 94, and 95. And so this is a joke on that. There's even like I don't know, like kind of a rumor going around is that in the 1995 one, they deliberately picked a bad one in the preliminaries so that they wouldn't have to host the 1996 one.
Or, well, what I was
That's
saying was
funny.
like that the 94 one, people suspected that because it was so different than their usual entry, but then they won with the 94 one.
Right. And it's in the 94 one, it was one of the highest scoring songs of all Eurovision.
Wow. Which
So,
I
Amy,
watched.
you listened to it. Yeah, was it
I
good?
did. I mean, it was okay. It's
Yeah,
what I
they're
feel
never
like
very
was
good.
like, now I guess I get
1994.
an idea of what, it was very 94, the hair. Well, and I'm not sure actually what, like, country was airing it, whatever the clip was from, because it was in another language. They had this like, we're going to go to Dublin and look at, the roots of these people, but all of the narration was in some other language. And I was like, are they going to, I hope they play the song, because this isn't much of any, I don't understand. And then they played this song and I was like, oh yeah, the guy on the piano, like a full Baby Grant,
Melodramatic. Yeah.
And then the other guy's sitting there with his guitar, and then he joins in actually playing it after he sings some together.
Was it really similar to this duo?
Not really
okay.
in that way, no. It was actually like a nice piano, too. It wasn't a little synthesizer-y.
Casio
But
keyboard.
could this have been a spoof on the 94? This was a spoof on
I'm
the
sure
94.
it was, yeah.
Basically, yeah.
I don't know, I guess, what the other Eurovision songs were, because they said, this is so different. But that's the only one I saw.
Can you hear it?
I can.
Basically, it's a song about wanting to have a mustache.
Yeah, I'm looking at the video. It's weird.
Yeah, I wanna have a mustache.
And kind of like Gangnam Style or something with the way all the music is.
It kind of reminds me, actually, of some songs that are popular in France, and it's just
Like
a parrot
Papa Ute?
of that. Yes, it reminds me of Papa Ute. But about
I
a
love Papa
mustache.
Ute.
I mean,
I know.
the subject
It's
matter
so
is not
dumb.
inspiring in any way, and I think that was deliberate.
Well, they thought, mustaches are cool now, right? At least
I think
here
this
in
was
the
past
U.S.
the time when mustaches
That's
were
true,
cool,
this was
'cause
last year.
Last year.
I mean,
Yeah.
already it's past.
Yeah. So yeah, that was about the end of the episode. Anyone got more words about the walkthrough, the plot?
I mean, like what I really liked at the end though was when they're like all the credits are rolling and they just go through every single country's language and how to say no points.
No point. No
It's like,
point.
Yeah, France, nil point. Russia, or like they just keep going along. And then at the end, it's like the Czech Republic or something, or Czechoslovakia, or whatever it is now. And then like nothing. Like the
yeah. It's like, I'm tired of saying no
nothing.
points. I'm going to say
yeah,
other
it's like
things.
not even 0 points.
Nothing.
You get
You
nothing.
get nothing.
I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
That's pretty much what it was.
Yep.
I am going to open a show doc for reference, even though I didn't make this show doc for this episode. I'm going to open a show doc to know where we should go next. I might be slightly intoxicated.
Oh. Well then.
Sorry. Josh is very used to this because it's always 7 in the morning when he records, but it's 6 in the evening after a day of work for me, so.
All right.
All right. Let's track that reference. Musical illusions.
Oh man.
I'm gonna just ask you some questions that I'm gonna find right now because I was ill prepared for this. What? Okay, so when they're talking before, and they're talking about how they're unique because they're priests and they're going to be unique in the show, and Ted mentions there was a priest named Father Benny Cake, who had a #1 hit single in England.
I don't know who it was referring to.
Yeah, so he says
like
the song.
Vienna.
Yeah, the song was titled Vienna.
Look up Vienna, and then I didn't.
What did the joke reference?
I reference a song called Vienna by a band named Ultravox.
Ultravox.
You
that sounds
looked that up.
familiar.
I did indeed look it up.
Yeah, see, I wrote down that I should look it up, and then I didn't. Probably because that's about when Kayla arrived. I had just finished watching the '94 winners of Eurovision.
Yeah, and
Ultravox. That does sound familiar, but I guess I don't know.
It's a British new wave band.
New wave.
I don't. Their most successful hit was Vienna, and I guess it's a joke that the frontman was a priest, was of the cloth.
Okay.
Midge Ure. So I don't know. I guess that's funny to some people. Lost on us.
Yeah. They played it up with the laugh track, which, that was fun.
Yeah. Okay, here's an easier one. So you remember when Ted mentioned some rappers and he talked about ICT and Scoopy Dog? Who are those references
Amy,
to?
go for it.
Ice-T and Snoop Dogg, or whatever he's called now.
Lion.
Snoop Lion. Although I thought he changed back from that.
I thought
Is he still
changed,
Snoop Lion?
Yeah. Let's
Last I knew he was Snoop Lion.
Okay, maybe he's still Snoop
Josh
Lion.
is looking it up. I'm gonna bet he is.
Ice-T does a lot of acting now.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. John Mulaney has the funniest. Josh, you've seen this, right? Has the funniest.
Yes, it's my favorite
Version of Ice-T on Law and Order SVU.
Law and Order.
It's so funny. It's so funny. It's like I could have watched 6 hours of just Ice-T explaining things. Oh, I get it. You mean it's like when people bet the house on the ponies? Or like when people eat too much chocolate cake? Or like when people eat too much chocolate cake and throw it up?
Everyone go look that up. It's the funniest thing you'll see today.
It's real funny. Dan Harmon has a really funny Ice-T impression that sounds a lot like his Vincent Price impression. Oh. And so there was one time where he did this like Ice-T rap, but with like a Vincent Price creepy breakdown like he does in the Thriller video. Like that Vincent Price does in the Michael Jackson Thriller video, but in Ice-T's rap. It's hysterical. I was crying at the bus stop. If anyone wants to check that out, they can go check it out. It's the Harmontown podcast. I think episode 80 something. Doesn't matter. Snoop Dogg is still Snoop Dogg, I think, or is back to Snoop Dogg. Lists as other names Snoop Doggy Dogg, Snoop Lion, DJ Snoopadelic, Snoopzilla, and Big Snoop Dogg.
Big. Does Big have 2 G's?
It does indeed have
Good.
2 G's.
Of course.
Good.
The most recent thing that I've seen him in is he was in a music video with Psy last year called Hangover. where he came, like, they shot the video here in Seoul, and it was pretty funny. Like, it was actually pretty accurate in terms of Korean drinking culture. It was pretty funny. But other than that, it's not a great song.
Oh. Okay, next question. So, did you guys remember seeing the board behind the announcer guy for the different entries?
with all the different lists of the different stuff.
One of those bands was actually a real band. So I'm going to list off the bands and the songs because they're just funny. And you guys figure out which one is the real band. Okay?
Okay.
All right. First one is, the song is called "The Miracle Is Mine" by...
That's Dick Byrne, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Father Dick
yeah,
Byrne.
Because they went first.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And then the second was "My Lovely Horse." and they were the winner. The third one was "If I Could Wear My Hat Like My Heart"
Oh, that's stupid.
by the Grand Girls. The fourth one was called "You Dirty English Bastards" by the Harry Bosies. The fifth one was "The Drums of Africa Are Calling Me Home" by Sean O'Brien.
By Sean O'Brien.
Yes. And the sixth one was called "Sha La 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 La" by Death Pigs. Which is the real artist?
Did you already
Amy,
read this, Josh? Do you already know?
You should probably answer first.
I wanted you to actually not know for sure. I think I think Harry Bosies sounds like it could be a real band. I listen to a lot of
Good
Wits.
job.
I think this could be Harry Bosies.
Yep, that's right.
Yeah, their songs are traditional Irish ballads with Republican lyrics.
Oh.
And they're actually they're friends. Like the main guy, one of the guys
Oh, okay.
is friends with Graham Linehan.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. And now for the big question. So remember that dream that they had about my lovely horse? It was actually based on a real video.
What?
Which was Ireland's lead entry for a Eurovision Song Contest.
Oh.
The video was for a song called "That's What Friends Are For" by the Swarbrigs. I want you to give me what year of Eurovision they had submitted it for.
Okay.
Earlier than 94.
Yeah.
Although I guess they weren't the winners, they were just submitted it. Or did they win that year? Okay.
Yes. Just doesn't say anything about them winning.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna guess, and then Amy, you guess, and then tell us if either of us are right, Kayla. Okay?
Okay.
And I'm gonna give you my reason. I'm gonna guess 1988, because Declan Lowney, who is the director for a lot of Father Ted episodes, was also the director of the 1988 Eurovision Song Contest.
Oh, well then. Well, that's a very good reason to guess.
That's compelling.
That. I was thinking maybe the 80s with those like sequensy jackets that they wore, but there's also that like really awkward swimming pool scene where there wasn't even a horse, and I kind of expected there to be a horse.
Swimming horse.
Well, let's go 1990.
You're both wrong.
Aww.
It was 1975.
Oh, they went way back.
That's old. Yeah.
And the writers, they consider this the funniest music video of all time, so they decided to parody the whole time thing. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was a really strange video.
And it now thinking back on it, I'm like, yes, of course, they didn't think up all of those scenes. Like, that came from mimicking something.
I kind of wondered if it did, and
the pool scene, was completely...
Yeah. It's like, okay, they copied this from something, and then it turned psychedelic, and that should have told me the 70s.
And that's...
I have a question.
And that's the... It turns into a saxophone solo toward the end of there, and that's where we get the whole "let's not do the saxophone" thing.
Yes.
The song apparently just devolves into madness after the sax solo. Sorry, Josh, go ahead.
I have a question for you. The guy who plays Dougal, Ardal O'Hanlon, plays a character in Doctor Who. Can you tell me who it is?
Oh, man. He looks kind of familiar the way he's smiling all the time.
Can you give us a hint as to which Doctor?
Yeah, David Tennant.
Okay.
Okay.
It's David Tennant and
Can I see
Martha.
what he looks like right
Okay,
Oh,
so I have
hey, that
seen this.
helps.
Yeah, I was about to say, if you go on IMDb, you'll
Oh,
get
if
it.
I see what he actually looks like right now, then I'll know who he is.
Kind of.
Because he does look familiar. Okay, Martha.
Are they on
well,
Earth?
That gave it away completely
Yeah,
because
exactly.
no,
he's
not
in his
not
Doctor
Earth.
Who makeup.
New Earth or whatever
New
because he's in
Earth.
his makeup on IMDb.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I would
Yeah.
never
I see.
have gotten that. He's a
Yeah, go
cat
for
guy
it.
who in the car.
Yeah, he's Brannigan.
Get that.
Yes. Yes.
That's funny.
He was really good in that episode.
Yeah, he was. I
liked him.
really
just
liked
didn't
him.
know what he looked
Mhm.
like in real life because he looks
Sure.
like a cat.
So maybe just for the listeners, say what episode that was so they can know the answer.
Yeah, that was he played Brannigan in the episode Gridlock, which is a David Tennant episode from
2007.
season 3. Yeah, season 3, episode 3, when they go to New Earth and they're all underground and stuff.
Well, they're in a traffic jam.
Yes.
Yep,
And
forever.
and he has kittens that are his children. And they're adorable.
They're just regular kittens,
They're just
even though
regular-
his
they
wife
have
is
no
very
human elements
human
at all. Yeah.
Yes, his wife is
Right.
fully human. I don't know.
I guess they thought that was a little weird to.
Yeah.
Yes. Also,
Or out
they
of
got
budget.
to use cute kittens.
Yes. Yes. The director just wanted to cuddle. That's all.
Yeah, sure. Who doesn't?
That's what I would do if I were director. There would be kittens on every episode of whatever I directed. This is a battle scene. There is no need for kittens in this scene. There are kittens, and I will play with them when the scene is over. Great. Good quiz, everyone. Many points
Hooray!
go to Amy because Josh, once again, knew all the answers prior to the quiz.
Well, again, I didn't know how much
Nobody
research
knew.
either
Yeah,
of us had
no one's
done.
blaming you.
So-
Yeah, winging it. I'm glad you didn't ask about all the people he referenced at the beginning because I was like, I didn't write down any of them except for the one I didn't know, which was like Krista Berg or something like that. And I'm not sure if it was Krista
He
Berg
references
or
Krista Berg?
Krista Berg. Yeah.
Krista Berg, he wrote Lady in Red.
Okay. Well, he referenced him. I just didn't know. I knew the other two references and I didn't write them down because I recognized them. And I thought I should look this guy up. And now
When were these references?
I think they were talking about good songwriters, maybe.
Yeah,
People
I think
who
so.
can
right
actually.
at the very
it
beginning.
was very, very close to the beginning.
Oh, okay.
Because
All I had
Dougal's
is-
like, we should write a song for Euro song or whatever, and he's like, oh, we're not a very good songwriters. And then they talk to Dick Burr, and he's like, we should write a song.
Yeah, yeah.
Dick Burr.
Yeah, the only
That's what
reason
I'm
I
going to
know
call people I don't like.
Dick
You know,
Burr.
you're being a real dick burn.
I thought you were going to go a different direction with that.
The only reason I know who Krista Berg is Kumail Nanjiani, who's one of my favorite
Comedian?
stand-up comedians, is on the Harmontown podcast regularly, and they play a game of D&D, like a recurring session of D&D. And his character is literally Krista Berg. Like, he's playing Krista Berg, the singer-songwriter. And it comes up so much. He's like, well, what can you do? Well, I wrote Lady in Red. He's like, what else did you write? Well, after that, I had a burst of inspiration and I wrote Woman in White. And Kumail is hilarious. I
Yes.
love him. He's so funny. He's on a couple episodes of Community. He's featured prominently in a season 6 episode of Community that's really, really funny.
I don't
I
think
gotta
I've
get
watched
on
that
that.
far, yeah.
Well, we got to get on that. Okay. Tropes and themes, pretty much
And
covered.
tropes and themes.
Tropes and themes and themes
Yes.
and tropes. So we get much Eurovision theme in the Dick Burns song, and then
yeah, I mean the entire episode is a big
no, I mean I'm talking about musical
many
themes.
Different ways. Yes.
And in that song, very schmaltz and 90s schmaltz in particular.
Yeah.
In My Little Pony, My Lovely Horse. No inspiration, no theme,
none.
nothing. Nope.
Literally none.
Two notes are sung.
The lyrics were so bad.
They were greatly bad, though. So well done for a bad song.
Perfectly bad.
You can try and make...
fetlocks blowing in the wind. A fetlock is a bone. It doesn't blow in the wind.
I thought that was the hair on the right above the hooves.
That it can be like
I'm
on
sure
certain
that's what
horses.
that's referencing then, because bones don't blow in the wind.
Yeah, not
right.
the actual bone.
On certain horses like Clydesdales, where they have lots of hair on their fetlocks, then that's their fetlock hair. But their fetlocks are the bones themselves. But and maybe people call them fetlocks as well. I don't know. Whatever. I'm not a horse man.
I'm not a horse person. Yeah, maybe.
And then they're like, "You're a pony no longer." Ponies are not horses.
They're completely
Ponies
different.
don't grow up to be horses.
I thought that was a cute line.
That's so funny. It's so funny.
I mean, let's step back and recognize how difficult it is to make a bad song deliberately.
Yeah, it's true.
Right? Or to write bad lyrics deliberately. It was well done.
Yeah, it was very well done.
I don't want to do a dance report or who could make it. So let's rate it.
Not a whole lot.
No one did any dancing except for the keyboardist for Father Burns.
Yes,
tried to swaying
that
and
was
not even good dancing. Yeah,
I'm sure "Sha La 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 La" was a good song. With lots of dancing.
I wish we could have
probably had some
seen
dancing.
it.
So do I. Do we want to rate? Josh, you want to go first?
Sure. In terms of just sheer enjoyment, it's pretty high up there. But in terms of a musical episode as a whole, not so much. I think because I enjoyed it so much versus how terrible the songs were supposed to be on purpose, that still brings it up pretty high. I'm going to give it 7.5. Yeah, no, just 7. Yeah. 7 out of 10 hairy Bosies.
Hairy Bosies.
Sounds gross.
It does.
It really does.
Or weird.
Yeah.
It sounds like a bow made out of hair, which is similar to the bra made out of hair that we were discussing a few episodes ago.
We talked about that.
Here.
We didn't actually talk. Yeah.
Oh, hair bras. Xena, I remember now.
Oh.
Yeah, that's right.
I want you to have a hair theme from now on, Josh, in your rating system.
Thanks, Urban Dictionary. A bosie is a term for someone you consider a messer or a divil.
What are
those things?
I know. That's what I'm saying. Thanks, Urban Dictionary, for nothing.
Well,
are you following the rabbit trail?
I would, but they don't have hot links.
Huh. And see, I thought, something like boozy, bosey. I don't know, because I was trying to figure out how to spell it so I could remember the bands.
Hairy Bosies. Maybe it's just hairy idiots.
I'm
or
guessing,
something like that,
Sure. That sounds like a band.
Go with that, yeah. So, Josh has 7 out of 10 hairy Bosies.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to go, Amy?
Sure. Man, I have a hard time with comedies, especially ones with laugh track.
Oh.
So I had a little
for
bit of
sure.
a hard time, and knowing nothing about the show before watching it. Let's see. I don't know. I guess I can give it a 6 sweary beeps. Because it was funny that they had to he's swearing, and so they beep it, and they also beep it so you know exactly what he said.
He's a good priest.
Yeah, exactly. This priest swearing. I mean, it was amusing. I might have to see some more of the show. So, yeah, altogether, I'll give it a 6, I guess.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know if you guys are influencing me because now I feel like I've raised my score.
I know. I raised mine more than maybe I should have. I almost gave it a 5 or 5.
I was thinking 5. I think I'm going to go 5.5 because of what Josh was saying. The enjoyment factor, the amusement factor was higher because I remember that I gave Futurama a 4 and I absolutely hated it. So
the fact that you actually enjoyed this one brings it up. Okay, that makes sense.
I'm going to go 5.5 out of 10. Out of 10. Brian's
Waiting
laughing
with
at me.
Bated breath.
I know.
Raptured.
It's gonna be so clever. What did I say? 5.5 out of 10.
You said 5.5 of 10.
Okay, 5.5 out of 10. Okay, five. Here's what it's gonna be. It's gonna be 5.5 out of 10. No points.
No point.
5.5 out of the 10. No points.
No points. Got it.
Yeah. It is of logic. Great. We got plugs to plug.
Yeah, we do.
So you can find us at Podcast Musical. Do not put a "the" in there.
Nope.
Who would do that? Who would think of doing such a thing of putting
Crazy
the
people.
No. Don't do that. Podcast Musical. Or on Facebook. Oh, that was Twitter. On Facebook, Podcast The Musical. I have a cheat sheet. That's why I'm getting this right, you guys. Yeah, and where else, Josh? Is that it?
That's pretty
the
much
website.
it. I mean,
say the website.
Oh, if you want to listen to us online, if you want to stream us online in a browser, you just go to podcastthemusical.com and that'll redirect to our feed page. And you can listen to us in your browser. Or if you want to, you can drop podcastthemusical .libsyn.com/RSS into your feed reader.
Yeah, do that.
Yay!
Or you can just search for us on iTunes. That's probably the easiest way to do it.
Yeah, do that.
And if you want to, you can copy the feed address there and move it to wherever you want. But yeah, those are the best way to contact us. If you need to email us, you can email Kayla at podcastthemusical.com or me at josh@podcastthemusical.com. And we will get that email immediately. Maybe we'll read it on the show if it's any good.
Yeah. On Twitter, I'm at VixKayla. And
on Twitter, I am useless.
Yes,
so.
That is the thing.
Don't
Amy,
bother.
do you have anything to plug? Do you have anything? You want people to follow you on Twitter? You don't have to want people to follow you on Twitter.
I don't even know what my Twitter is, but I am Amy Buller on Instagram, and anything I post on Twitter is probably something I posted from Instagram. So,
nice.
Amy Buller on Instagram.
You got any projects or anything going on?
House projects. Yay!
You should blog about your house projects.
I'm trying to write some blog posts, so one of these days.
Do you know what it's going to be? Because this is going to come out in like 6 months.
Oh, well then. I'll have you bleep it out if I end up never posting it. But
we can cut it.
It would be on amybuller.com.
If
if there are posts about the house.
Because Amy lives, right now we're in it, Amy and Brian live in this really cool kind of old house.
100-year-old house that needs some love, but it's big and rambly.
It's pretty. It's got pretty things happening.
The previous owner had a very distinct grandma style that involved a lot of pink, so we're slowly depinkifying it. So
I don't hate this carpet only because it's really soft.
Exactly.
I like the feel of it, but it is pink with flowers. But the walls are green. It's really pretty.
Yeah, we've made some improvement.
Follow Amy's progress on that because she's doing an amazing job. Oh, hey there.
Hi.
It's Kayla
And Josh.
and we want to tell you what the next episode is going to be like. Happy birthday, happy birthday.
Happy birthday, happy birthday to you.
We're in a Mexican restaurant that has happy birthday songs and also titanium. We want to tell you the next episode is actually not an episode of the TV in the traditional sense.
Right. It's about Dr. Horrible, which was originally a series produced by Joss Whedon and put on the web initially in 3 15-minute episodes. And it's great. And so that's what we're going to talk about. It is Dr. Horrible's sing-along blog. And if you are one of the unfortunate people to not own it on DVD, you really should. But if you are not and can't get a hold of a copy, you can find it on YouTube in HD. It's readily available lots of places on the internet.
Yeah, and it's super easy, and you'll enjoy it. And might I recommend, after you're through with that, you look up the commentary, which is a sing-along commentary, naturally.
It's essentially an entirely new story. It has nothing to do with the original story. It's great. It's wonderful.
They put a lot into this. Anyway, so we'll see you next week when we discuss Dr. Horrible with our special guest, Lara Rhodes.
Hey.
And also maybe a tiny mini person also.
An infant of some kind.
See ya.
Bye.
So you can watch that there. And thanks for listening. Bye, everybody. Thanks, Amy.
Bye.
Bye.